Hello guys, no introductions. The day has come, okay? It's time for me to reveal my best working method to the day, the crazy method. Before we start, like the video if you like the content, and please watch the video several times, because in order for you to use the crazy method you need to understand it completely. It's a super advanced method and it really needs a lot of experience in terms of optimizations of CBO campaigns and playing with budgets with several interests. This is one of the last videos for my general idea of how am I doing ads and for my whole theory about Facebook ads, which is actually going to complete a circle of the videos for my master videos here on YouTube that I'm sharing my whole strategy and my whole philosophy about Facebook ads. So the crazy method is very important because out of all my methods, if we have a crown, okay, and I'm wearing my crown now, this is the stone over here on the top, you know, it's the crown jewel, my biggest crown jewel, my favorite method, and the method that has made me the most money so far, period. So what is the crazy method? The crazy method is this. Imagine that you are having a campaign, that you're having a CBO campaign, okay? The way that I showed you, I'm going to put a link in the description with the dynamic creative ads, and you're having several different interests. The crazy method is something different and I use it a lot of times in order to scale accounts. And of course I use it when I don't have other kind of solutions and I cannot find a lot of interests. Of course, it's super applicable also for local businesses for lead generation, but I'm going to do a separate video about local businesses. I can tell you that if you are having a local business, please subscribe to this channel. The next week I'm going to upload a video about local business ads with the crazy method, which is going to revolutionize the way that you think about your cost per lead and about the leads that you are getting in a local area. But this is something that we're going to cover in the next video. So the crazy method, it's not about using different interests. It's about using exactly the same ad set duplicated several times. How many times? It really depends on the budget that you are having for your CBO campaign. By the way, crazy method is working only with the CBO campaigns. And what are your key metrics? For example, if you want to have cost per purchase of $50, in order for you to be profitable, you need to calculate how many ad sets based on the budget that you're having on the CBO campaign you should put in order for you to be able to get this kind of results. Now, if we analyze it further, what does it mean to have exactly the same ad set and how you're going to actually understand which ad set you should use? There are several different cases that I'm going to analyze. First case. We have the case that we are having lookalike audiences and we know that for some reason 5% is working better than 10%. Most of the cases now after iOS, 10% is working better, but let's say for the sake of this conversation that 5% was working better. If you're having only one ad set with 5% purchase and you're just having this one, you're not using the full potential of the whole potential reach of the audience. The audience is going to be 6-7 million and you're just targeting a very small fraction of it, okay? You're just having a fraction of one ad set targeting a 5 million audience. Even if you spend thousands of dollars, it will take you months to reach the whole potential. So what you can do? You can speed up the process. You can put one campaign, instead of having different lookalike audiences, you can put 5 times, for example, the 5% ad set lookalike, but always being the same, okay? And no, most of the times when I do this discussion with people, there are people that they say, oh, and I'm going to use different creatives in that one. No, I want it to be exactly the same. Why? Because it was working like this. It was a 5% lookalike audience that it was working very well with a specific set of copy and specific set of creatives. So I want you to take this one and duplicate it several times. That way you are going to be able to actually target faster within the same audience, the people that you want. Think it like that. Think it like you want to advertise by giving leaflets in several neighborhoods of a specific area. Okay, and then you realize that you send one person and it goes to one neighborhood and it's working very well. Okay, but what if you send several people to give leaflets to all of these different neighborhoods that you're not actually giving leaflets because your one person is actually going to only this neighborhood because he doesn't have the time to go to the other neighborhoods. Okay, this simple example is going to help you understand that you can actually target more and find more hot pockets within the full potential reach of your working ad sets, instead of just trying to have only one and not using the full potential reach of your success. So it's time for a visual example. Let's think that this circle over here, this target, is actually your full potential reach. And let's now think that you are having one ad set. Yeah, see, this is what you are targeting. You are targeting just this area with your ad set. Now, what you should do, should you stay only with this one ad set targeting this area, or you should do more ad sets targeting the full potential reach actually? And yeah, I think you should go for more. See? Okay, so let's think of that and let's say the ones that they stayed, they are actually the good ad sets, okay? The ad sets that they actually, we launched and they also performed, okay? My cat is actually alive. Okay, so, and then we have the other ad sets that they didn't hit the target. These are the ad sets that we are going to close, because with the crazy method, you need to watch your ads daily and you need to manage the ad sets that are working and the ad sets that are not working. So instead of having only one ad set working in the full potential reach, let's think that this circle is the full potential reach, the millions that you want to target. We're having several others that are going to find different hot pockets within your full potential reach, and they're going to also optimize. Okay, so good ad sets are going to stay, bad ad sets are going to go down. And this is a visual example for you to understand it better. Okay, now that the visuals are over, let's discuss about some other cases that you can use the crazy method. First of all, case number one is the lookalikes, as we said, but the same way that you can use it with the lookalikes, one lookalike that is working very well, you can use it with very broad interests that you have seen in your CBO campaigns that are working very well. For example, you're having one campaign with 20 ad sets. For some reason, one of your ad sets and one interest that has good potential reach, big potential reach, you can actually see that is getting most of the sales. That means that Facebook is saying, hey, this interest is actually working for you. What if you take this one and you duplicate it with the crazy method several times, and then you are going to optimize it all over again by closing the bad ones and the good ones, like the dots that they didn't hit the target.
Flashback.
Έχει πολύ πλάκα να καταφέρεις το sugar να πετύχεις. Last case, and the most important one, in my opinion. We all know that Facebook now wants bigger audiences, okay? The crazy method is really helping on that, because you're just not going to trust blindly Facebook by just having one ad set, okay? You're going to have several ad sets that you're going to optimize. You are limiting your risk, but you can have very broad audiences. For example, you're doing a campaign that is having specific results, and you can see that the demographics for some reason is women from 25 years old to 45 years old that they're buying, okay? 80% of the sales, let's say. Why don't you do another campaign which is going to be broad targeting, crazy method, but broad targeting this time with demographics? You can target 25 to 45 women without any interest and let Facebook do its magic. Of course, you need to have a good pixel in order to do that, for the pixel to find the initial sales and the optimization. But I can tell you that if you're having enough sales, doing broad targeting and crazy method, it's going to help you scale. Okay, which is a very serious problem for a lot of businesses, especially if you don't have a lot of interests that you can use. And we all know that now the lookalike audiences are struggling a little bit, and maybe you need a solution like that, having a broad targeting, but not only one ad set, several ad sets that are going to be exactly the same, and you're going to optimize them so that you can find the good hot pockets, the ones that they have actually worked, the ones that they have found some initial results, and they continued optimizing within this vast potential reach. So, of course, broad method, broad targeting is one thing that you can also do with crazy method. And I can tell you that I have scaled a lot of businesses with broad targeting and with this method. And to be honest with you, if you want to go to big numbers like spending 100K, 200K per month, this is the only solution, in my opinion, if you want to scale. Last note on that. Let's say that you are having a very small account and you are running one ad set which is working very well. Okay, we have already discussed about relaunch of campaigns, and of course this is something that you should also do with your crazy method campaigns, because you know it's all about optimizing, okay, in the different hot pockets, and we know that we are targeting a very big audience. Of course, I want you to use the crazy methods with big audiences, okay, like broad 10% lookalike on United States, which is 10 million. Don't use crazy method with an audience of 200K. It defeats the whole purpose of the strategy. The whole point is you have a vast audience. You cannot target the full potential reach with just one ad set. So you want to have several ad sets that they are going to target at the same time this potential reach. That means that if you are having one ad set that is working very well for some reason, even if it is not a dynamic creative, okay, maybe it's an ad with it's an ad set with 5 ads, maybe it's a carousel ad, whatever it is and whatever is working, most probably if you take it and you integrate it in a crazy method, it's going to work very well, and you're going to have results if you know how to optimize. Before we go to the PC, I would just like to analyze how you should think about the number of your ad sets within your campaigns for the crazy method, because it's very important. As always, you need to ask, am I asking too much from Facebook? If the answer is yes or no, it's going to be defined by the average cost per purchase that you are getting in your account. You cannot have, for example, $50 cost per purchase average in your ad account so far with your efforts and then expect immediately with the crazy method to get $20 cost per purchase. It's not going to happen. So think of that. What is my average cost per purchase? This is going to define how many ad sets you're going to put within your CBO campaign and the budget, okay? So as many ad sets as you have, for example, let's say a very easy example. Let's say that your average cost per purchase is $50, okay? You can spend $250 with 5 ad sets, okay? So that you can say, hey, I'm giving to each one of my ad sets in a daily level $50, because it doesn't matter how much money you're going to spend at the end of the month. It really matters how much money you are spending in a daily level, okay? Because the ad sets are resetting their budgets that they're spending in a daily level. That means that if you have this, you can do 5 ad sets with 250 CBO. And if you say, okay, I just want to reduce that, do 6, do 7, do 8 ad sets in order to try to optimize and get lower results as a cost per purchase, but don't go immediately creating 20 ad sets when your average cost per purchase is $50 cost per purchase and you are going to put a budget of 250, because as you can understand, you are asking too much from Facebook and it's not going to happen. The most important thing for me about the crazy method is this, and I'm talking so much because it's a very advanced method and I need you to understand that it's going to take you time to master it. So the most important thing is to pick the number of the ad sets that you are going to use, the budgets in your CBO campaign, and of course, have a lot of experience optimizing this kind of campaigns. You need to watch your ads every day. I'm having a CBO, VSABO video, which I'm explaining a little bit about the optimization. But keep in mind that even if I show you 10 videos or 20 videos about how to optimize the campaigns, it's going to take you a lot of time to master it and you need to spend a lot of money. It's not something which comes with theory, it's something that comes with experience, and you need to spend a lot of money in order to master this method. The more you're going to do this kind of campaigns, CBO campaigns, which are also considered the future of the campaigns, the more you will learn how to optimize, how to when to close an ad set based on the last 7 days results, and how to keep the budgets in order to not disturb. For example, you cannot just close 5 ad sets which are going to just release the budget that they have to the other ad sets, ruining all of your results. You need to lower also your CBO budget in order to keep a balance. These are things that are going to take you time to understand, but I'm having several videos like the CBO with live examples that I'm explaining to it, but other than that, it's going to take you time to experiment on yourself. So just for the sake of explaining better the crazy method, I would like to show you some live examples for campaigns or adsets that are eligible for crazy method and how it has worked with other accounts and stuff, and a little bit of optimization just to explain the way that we think about the crazy method. So first of all, let's go for example on this account. On the last 7 days, it has 7.3k spent, 2.84 ROAS. Let's say that we want to scale, okay, and it's time for this account to scale because we're receiving good results. This company, for your information, it has a break-even ROAS of 1.8, so 2.8 is considered too high. It means that you can spend more. So what I would do is that I would go to this campaign, or maybe this campaign which is producing good results, or maybe go to this one because this one is actually spending more, okay? So let's see what is happening here. We can come here and we can see out of all of the ad sets, because you know we are optimizing by closing some ad sets, keeping some good ones, and actually optimizing. As I said, this campaign started with a budget of $500 and now it's on 360 because this is the balance that we found, okay? This is the amount of money that we can actually spend and have good results for this company. Instead of keeping our 500, we are decreasing the budget based on the amount of adsets that we have. I'm going to do some examples later on how this is working, so stay on the video. In this specific situation, we can see that we have a very clear winner over here, okay? By the way, for all of you that you are actually wondering about the learning phase, we can say that this one with 52 sales in the last 7 days has actually passed the learning phase, and we can see that it's having very good results across the average cost per purchase, which is 18.66. It has 14.34. Very good results. 52 sales, 2.96 ROAS. Perfect. This is a campaign that we can actually use with the crazy method. So what are you going to do? Just an example. You are going to do, let's see also this. So what is the potential reach? The potential reach is from 3.9 million to 4.6 million. Not always the best option, but it's a campaign that I could use for this situation. If we go to the maximum results with this campaign, we can see that it has actually 71 sales, 2.23. Oh, so it's actually working better in the last 7 days, which is also a good sign. It shows that it's optimizing well. And we can see that the reach on this situation is 79,000 people, okay? So as you can understand, we just spent $1,387, and out of the 3.9 or 4 million, we just targeted 80,000 people. This is why the crazy method is important, because instead of targeting 80,000 people in something that is working, why don't you do more ad sets which are going to target the same audience with the same creative that we know that has worked, it has social proof, whatever, and why don't we try to target this audience much faster? So the way that we can do that is that by taking this, duplicate it, go in a new campaign, of course, do this one CBO. Let's name this one crazy method, interest 13, okay? And let's now duplicate it. When we come here, we will be able to, we'll be able to see it, and we can go to our campaign budget optimization and open it. Now, if we calculate, okay, let's say how much more do we want to spend? Do we want to spend 200 more? Okay, because this is what we want to spend per day. Let me take my calculator, or let me do it here so that you can see it also. So if we take the calculator and we say, hey, we want to spend 200, what was the cost per purchase that we were getting in the last 7 days from this? It was 14 point something, so let's put 15. And we divide this with 15. So we have 13 adsets. This is the number of adsets that we can have in order for us not to ask too much from Facebook. You know, the thing that I explained a little bit earlier. So this one means that we have 13.3, but I always like to put a little bit more, okay? Because we want to try to improve it, okay? And it's not, if we put like 16 or 17, it's not like it's going to ruin our average cost per purchase. But if you come here and you put 50, as you can understand, it's going to be a problematic situation. Now, in that case, I'm going to put, let's say 16, just to put a little bit more and have a little bit of space of closing some ad sets that they don't perform well, keeping some that they are actually performing well. You can go even a mile further and put 20, okay? Just so that you can have more options. Keep in mind that I don't like to change the budgets of the crazy method in the CBO. I don't like to go from an example from spending 200 to 300, just like that. I would start another campaign again, which is going to be exactly the same with another budget if I want to scale even more, or I would try to find another interest that it's actually going to be eligible for the crazy method. So by coming to this, we know that we want to use 16 ad sets. So we can go inside the campaign. We can take this one. Of course, we are going to set it up for the next day at 6 a.m. because remember that this one needs good optimization. Okay, and now that we know, you see, I'm changing nothing else, okay, nothing else. So I'm taking exactly the same ad set. I'm going to duplicate it another 15 times. Duplicate. There you go. And here we are. We edit all of them and we hit the publish button so that this can actually start. I'm not going to do it. This company has some stock issues because we did a very good Christmas and Black Friday. So we are laying low right now with spending only 1K per day. Okay, now we discussed about in theory how the crazy method works and how you should pick your ad set. Now let's see one example actually of how it actually worked. So we can come to this campaign over here. We can see that in the last 30 days, we have 3.62 ROAS, 150 spending, and we want to scale a little bit more, okay? So we have conducted a very small test with this crazy method, but how did we do it? We came here, and we have seen that in the total results, exactly the same thing that I showed you before. You see, natural product. This is an interest. This is a United Kingdom account. It has 2.7 to 3.2. Just for the sake of the conversation, in the United Kingdom, having an audience of 3.2 million is not a small audience, okay? It's not the United States. So having 3.2 million, it's fine. Again, let's see these metrics. Let's see. What are we having here? We are having a cost per purchase of $8, which is close to our average cost per purchase. We know that this one is working very well. It's producing 3.53 ROAS. We know that it has volume because for us, it's more important to see good volume instead of seeing good ROAS, okay? We want to go for volume here, okay? This is a scaling tactic. Nice 500 round number, by the way. Okay, and then we know that if we see here, it spent 663, having some, where is it? See, 85K people, it was actually reached. We have to target so much more, okay? And Facebook is actually giving us a sign here saying that, hey, this ad set is working very well, okay? I'm scaling because this is what the CBO campaign does. If we have one ad set that is working very well, Facebook is saying, okay, it's working very well, I'm going to spend more money to it. This is the whole philosophy of the CBO. And the same is going to happen with our crazy method. So in order to see in this account, because this is a new account for me, that I started working recently with it, scaling it, the problem of this account was always scaling. I have conducted a very small experiment in order to see if the crazy method can actually work in this account. Because, of course, whatever I'm showing you here, it doesn't mean that it's going to work in all accounts. You have to see if it's going to work in yours. So I have taken it, and based on the fact that we have $8, okay, I'm putting 8 ad sets. Okay, let's do the calculations again, okay? So here we have spent, how much? 30, okay? I think it was more, and I did optimization. I think I started with 50. 50 divided with 8, it's 6.25, so I put it 2 more ad sets in order to get the cost per purchase a little bit down. And after some period, I closed, let's see what is happening on the last 7 days. Okay, on the last 7 days, we have done our optimization, and we can see that we closed these bad boys over here, that they were not producing good results, but we are left with these ones over here, that they are actually producing good results, 4.14 ROAS, and this is how you can use the crazy method in order to scale. Now, I can take this one and do it in a bigger level. For example, I can take this one since we are having $8 and let's say that I want to spend 100 more, okay? Divide it with 8, it's going to be 12.5, okay? And that means that I can do 15 adsets or 16 adsets and have a new budget of $100 with my crazy method, because here still I'm scratching the surface, and based on that very small scale crazy method, I can see that I can scale it even further. So this is something that you should definitely do when you're having results. If it doesn't work, you're just going to close it and you're just going to go back until you find your next adset which is going to be eligible for that. But keep in mind that as I'm showing you here, it is working actually, okay? And the results are very good. We are having better actually. Let's see what's the cost per purchase. So the cost per purchase actually stayed a little bit higher from what we had in the previous one, but we have better return on ad spend. So everything is fine. We can see that the crazy method is also working here. You can see how you can qualify different audiences. And let's go in another example. Okay, now in this account, I'm going to explain to you a little bit of mixed crazy method, because the whole point of the crazy method is that we take and we duplicate exactly the same assets and we try to optimize them based on what we see on the return on ad spend in that specific case, because we are talking about e-commerce stores. So you can do this, you can have a mix, okay? Let's say that you are seeing something working very well. Here we are having a 10% lookalike and a 5% lookalike. So what I have done is that I have taken 5 adsets that are going to be 5% lookalike and 5 adsets that are going to be 10% lookalike. Keep in your mind that the same rules that apply on the CBO, the same rules apply here also. Why? Because when you are having a CBO campaign, Facebook is going to favor the bigger audience. So we know here that Facebook is going to like more to spend money on the 10%, but here it needs a little bit more experience for you managing the campaign. We can see that after spending some money, we have 2.85 in return on ad spend in the last 7 days. Actually, the maximum results, yeah, they are lower. So we know that we are optimizing in the right direction and we're getting better results in the last 7 days. Guess what? If you are having 2.85 in the last 7 days, by the way, break-even ROAS for this company is 2. So if you having better results in the last 7 days, by the time that you continue having these better results, the 2.11 or 15, let's see, the 2.21 is going to become higher and higher and higher, because you are producing better ROAS in your last 7 days, which is increasing your total numbers in total. And you can see that we have closed some bad campaigns, some campaigns that didn't produce good results and they were just spending, and we are left now with the campaigns that they have actually optimized and they are having better results, and we are keep going with those. Let's also discuss about the crazy method over here. Another thing that I want to stress out with this example is this. When I came to this account, I analyzed the account, and I have seen one ad set that has actually worked very well in the past, okay? And it was a very simple ad, okay? A very simple ad with just one option. It's not even dynamic, and it just had engaged shoppers over here. For some reason, it worked. It doesn't matter why, but it worked. So this person couldn't scale. So what I have done is that I have taken this and I have done the difficult part, which is actually the optimization. So I took this and I actually put it in a new campaign where I actually, you can see, managed to have 407 sales with 2.59 ROAS and spending 6.2K when this account was struggling even to spend $100 per day. So the more important thing is not to also do a campaign trying to see something that is working now, but maybe take something from the past of the account. If you are an advertiser, you can analyze an account and see what was working in the past, what kind of creative, whatever. And when you're having this kind of ad set that you can locate, launch it with a CBO crazy method campaign and start optimizing all over again in order to get the best possible results in a scaled level this time, and not just with an ad set that is not going to even spend the full potential, or it's not going to even bring the full return that you should get from that, because it's a big audience like this one, for example, which is a vast audience. And in my opinion, this audience being such big is close to having an open targeting, okay? So you can do that, and you can do exactly the same if you have a very strong pixel with an open targeting campaign this time. So since now we analyzed already how to pick your correct assets for the crazy method, how to actually different ways and some credibility so that you can see that it's working with actual results. I think that it's time for us to optimize 2 or 3 campaigns that I have picked for some of my clients in order to see how the optimization is being done, and in order to understand how to optimize your CPO campaigns in order to be left with a good ad sets that they are optimized and they are going to spend. Okay, now the most difficult and crucial part, okay, the optimization, how you're going to optimize your campaigns in order for you to be able to have good CPO campaigns. Which assets are you going to keep? What are the budgets going to be? I told you how to start with the budgets, but what are the budgets that you're going to end up having in a campaign? I have chosen this campaign here because this is a broad targeting campaign, okay? We have seen that the demographic for this audience is 25 to 65 men, okay? So I'm targeting immediately 100 million people. Of course, this is a very strong pixel, which is working very well for a long period. So keep in mind that in order for you to do broad targeting, you need to have a strong pixel. I'm not saying that broad targeting is not going to work in a new account, but most of the times in new accounts we start with smaller audiences and we move higher. Sometimes we even start with broader, but keep in your mind that in order for a campaign to work with a crazy method like this, you need to have a strong pixel in order to give you good results. Now, in this campaign, we can see that the average that we're getting is 1.68. We are still in the process of optimizing this campaign, and we're trying to reach it to spending let's say the best possible amount of money that it can spend. Okay, this is an account which is spending currently 10k per day, and in several times of the week it's spending more than 20, 30, 40, 50k depending on the period per day. Of course 50k we spend for 2 or 3 days because this is an account that has some specific offers for these days, and we are able to spend this money by having also good return because everybody wants to join. Now, let's optimize this one, okay? Let's see how we can actually optimize it. Let's filter this by selection, and let's come now here, and let's see that this one is spending $680 daily. In the last 7 days result, we are having 1.68, which is not something that we are happy with it. This company is having a digital product, so everything above 1.2 is considered profit, especially in this kind of spends that we are having very big spendings. But of course, I'm always trying to go above 2 ROAS because this is also a revenue sharing model for me. And I'm trying to make them as much possible money as I can with a specific target of ROAS. Now, if we come to this one, we can see that we're having some assets that are already closed, that are not performing well. For example, this one has to go because it's spending without having any results, so we are going to close it. I'm doing an optimization with you right now. We can see that this one is also a bad boy ad set that is not having any results by spending this amount of money. And by the way, don't be amazed by that. If you're having big budgets in campaigns, these things can happen in one day. Okay, and we are having some results. So what I chose to do as a starting point is to close all the assets that they have no sale and be left with the assets that they have some sales. They have some chance of optimizing, okay? Because having a sale is very important because it's going to make Facebook try to, the algorithm actually, to find another sale and another sale and another sale. So the way that I optimize is this. I take all of these and I'm going to filter them by selection. By the way, those that you see with big ROAS, it's very small spends. It's something that I have closed maybe earlier and then it found one sale, so that you can see that it has that. You don't need to open these, okay? You need to stay with the ones that they have actually several sales. So filter by selection over here, and now we are left with the ad sets that we have kept only, okay? Here we can see that in the last 7 days we're going to get 1.71 return on ad spend if we had only these ad sets, okay, with the spend that we have. Now, let's say that we want to improve that, okay? We will start eliminating from the bottom some bad ad sets in order to improve our average return on ad spend. We're going to close this one, Let's go up to 75, okay? This one and this one, okay? Now that we close this, okay, we're going to pick the ones that are left, and we're going to see what kind of average results we were going to get with this one. It's 1.89, okay? Now, it's up to us if we want to increase it more or go higher. Now, two important things, and for me this is the biggest mistake that people do when it comes to that. You don't need to keep only the ad sets that are actually producing positive ROAS for you. You need to keep also some bad assets in order for you to have volume, okay? What you care about is only the average cost, the average return on ad spend. You don't care if one of them is having bad results, because you care only about the average. Some of those are going to be the volume, some of those are going to be the quality that they're going to bring the good ROAS. If you end up leaving only the good return on ad spend assets, you are not going to scale, you're just going to spend some extra amount of money, because the more you are closing assets, the more you need to decrease your CBO budget. Why? Because CBO is working like this. It's distributing a budget among all of the assets. So if you close one of your assets, it means that this budget is going to be distributed among the other assets that you have. And guess what? Now that we closed our assets, we need to come here, we need to check what the assets that we have chosen to keep spent yesterday, okay? So yesterday they spent 453, okay? Our budget here is 680. That means that $130 more is going to be distributed among those 18 assets that we have chosen to keep. And this might cause our assets to start spending more when they don't want to, okay, because they cannot find more people, and disturbing the balance of the campaign. So what we're doing here is that we say, okay, I'm happy actually with 1.89. It's 190 ROAS. I want to keep some volume on my ads. So in that specific case, if we want to keep it on that level, we are going to come here. We're going to see the results yesterday in order to keep our balance and not disturb it. 553, we're going to put a little bit more. We're going to put 560 or 570. Let's put 570. We're going to publish. And this is how you do the optimization, okay? Now, in the first 24 hours, you're going to check for link clicks if you have big campaigns, okay? And you're going to see what is happening if you're having one of those that is spending $10, for example, and the cost per unique link click is $3, $4, $5. Of course, these numbers really vary from business to business. Maybe $3, $4, $5 is good for your business because you have different products, but most of the times we want to see something below $2 cost, and of course below $1 it's going to be very good. So you can evaluate in the first 24 hours what you are going to keep based on the cost per unique link click. Back in the days before the iOS changes, I was going to close assets even after 24 hours, but at that point the reporting was very fast. Okay, now we know that we have up to 72 hours delayed of reporting. That means that I would like to keep my CBO campaigns for at least 48 hours before deciding what am I going to keep and what am I going to lose. Most of the times after the 48 hours, I'm going to see if anything is overspending. I'm not going to evaluate it based on the return on ad spend. I'm just going to see, hey, what is the... For example, I see one ad set like this one spending 120 with 0 sales. This one has to go, okay? I'm going to liberate the budget for the other ad sets to spend it, and I'm not going to keep this ad set because it has 0 sales. But I'm not going to close an ad set with 0.3 ROAS, for example, because this is the second phase of the optimization, as I showed you, which is this one. Now, one last example. Let's say that we want to have more ROAS than that, okay? Let's say that we want, and also it's going to show you why it's important for you to keep some bad ad sets, bad return on ad spend ad sets, because the more you are closing ad sets, the more you decrease your spend, which means that you're decreasing also your scaling. So let's say that 1.89 is not good for us, okay? We're going to close 2 more and see what is going to happen on this one. So let's go here, filter by selection again, 1.97, okay? Now we're close to 2 ROAS. Let's see yesterday, $506. So instead of 570, we're going to do 510. There you go. Okay, so now we have a new balance that we are dictating for our ads. Always check your ads at in the mornings, okay? Something like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't want you to do changes in your campaigns and the CPOs in the evening. You should do it if you want at 12 o'clock in the night or 1 o'clock in the night after the reset, or you can do it at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. For me, that I live in another country and I work with United States, it's 2 p.m. for me to work for the accounts at 5, 6 p.m., 5 or 6 a.m., which is working very well. But for you, if you are in the United States, do any changes that you want to do only in the morning hours and super early in the morning, or in the midnight after the reset of the budget. I think that with all the things that I showed you, I'm covering everything in terms of how to optimize a campaign and that. Now it's up to you, okay? You need to start playing, experimenting with this. This video is super long already. I couldn't do a smaller video about that, but it's super technical, okay? It's super technical, and this method is super technical. And one last thing, I don't want to hear anything about competition with your own ads. This is total BS, okay? And I can show you results, okay? If you want theory and just big words about competing with your own ads, you can do it. But I care more about the return on ad spend and the results that you can get in accounts, instead of just talking about competing with your own ads and that is going to impact you. Well, it's not impacting, okay? I'm having several accounts that Crazy Method is working very well, and it actually helped me a lot to scale when other methods were failing, or in cases that there are accounts that they have very limited interests to use. I have also posted a video about the interests that are going to be removed. The game is actually transitioning over that, okay? And I can tell you also that broad targeting, it's a very common method. You can see here that it's working, apparently, okay? So there is no doubt that the Crazy Method is working. Whoever doesn't like it, don't use it. It's up to you. And whoever is going to use it, keep in your mind that it's going to take you a lot of time to learn optimize. For some students that I had in the past, it took us months of sessions and stuff in order to start understanding and start implementing it, because it also has different rules with numbers and stuff and optimization, what to keep, what to lose. You need to also have some experience, and for people like me that they spend millions on the platform, it's a daily routine, okay? It's something very easy for me to do, but I can understand that for you it might be overwhelming.
It's difficult.
I'm having more of these optimizations in my course, and I guess that's it. Phew, that was huge, okay? I'm going to see you for the closing of this video. Okay, that's all I had about the Crazy Method. I know that it's not enough, okay? I think that you need to keep watching my content. You need to see a lot of my videos. You need to see a lot of my different methods and maybe my examples that I'm using from time to time from my own account. But keep in mind that it took me years also to master it, okay? So you need to go through that process. If you think that this is an easy solution, it is not, okay? It's going to take you time, but it's a solution that I have scaled several accounts, okay? As I said, it's my crown jewel, and the people that they have actually learned how to do the Crazy Method, from my students to some of my friends, I can tell you that they're fanatics. With this method, okay? And they use it every day on their accounts. So keep in mind that it's very difficult. Keep in mind that it's going to take you time, but as a philosophy, if you start understanding it, I'm sure that at some day you will be able to optimize your own campaigns with the Crazy Method. Without further ado, like this video if you liked it, follow for more content on Instagram or other social media. Don't forget that I have my course. To be honest with you, I explain even more the Crazy Method there with more examples, more optimization and stuff, which is the most difficult part. I haven't closed like this for a long period, so I'm going to do it. Don't forget that until we meet again, be creative and be consistent in the universe and in the metaverse.